Propstream or batch leads? What real estate wholesaling software should you be using in 2024? And honestly, which software is the best right now? Let me be completely honest with you. There are two sides in the wholesaling real estate software game. There's either going with only batch leads and there's going with Propstream. A lot of wholesalers choose one or the other, and that is what they're at. When you see all these other wholesaling influencers, they're gonna tell you batch leads is the best, don't use Propstream. And then they're gonna say use Propstream and never use batch leads. But the honest truth is, both of these softwares work really well and they're both amazing use in wholesaling real estate. What I wanna do is give you a complete comparison guide on both of these softwares so you know exactly how to make the right decision when choosing the right wholesaling software. Now, before I get into it, you already know there's a million people saying, Zach, don't do a video on Propstream or batch, do a video on this software or this software or this software. Let me be completely upfront with you. Batch leads and Propstream are on a completely different level when it comes to the quality of software, when it comes to polling, skip tracing, and comping properties. You can probably give me any of these softwares. There's free softwares, cheaper softwares, all these other ones that poll leads for you in wholesaling real estate. But when you really talk to most wholesalers that are at 6 to 7 figures, they're not using those other softwares. They're using batch leads and Propstream. The reason why they're using that is when you actually get to a level, actually start doing deals, you understand bad data is not free or super cheap. It actually costs you tens of thousands of dollars. If I used a free or cheap software service to pull my direct mail lists, it wouldn't just be saving money. I'll actually be losing deals by having really bad software. Batch leads and Propstream spend millions of dollars every single year on their R&D to pull the best data quality. And this is what you need to be using for wholesaling success. Now, you do not need to be using wholesaling software to actually become successful. I think that's the first myth we have to talk about before I get into these softwares. They are tools. You can get your first wholesaling deal this year without spending any money at all. You do not need to be buying any softwares. You don't need to be doing any skip tracing. If you just put your head down and pull the government lists and use cyber background checks or truepeoplesearch.com, call and text on Google Voice, you don't need any of these softwares at all. But they do help and they are tools to have success eventually when you want to hit 6 and 7 figures. Now, you might have the question about why do some influencers say that you should only use batch leads and why does every other person in wholesaling say you should only use Propstream? The truth is they're doing it for money. They might just use one software service, but they'll never promote the other one, even if they're using it because they do not have the money. The cool part about having a free wholesaling course and having the largest wholesaling course in the country is I can leverage both these software companies to get me the best deal for you guys. And that's why I can actually tell you the honest truth about both. I can say one's better than the other and not get in trouble because I have a large enough audience, thanks to you guys, where I can give you the honest opinion and the honest truth. So what I'm telling you is my objective opinion and what I found from the most unbiased source possible. I will be upfront with everybody here. I currently use batch leads, also currently use Propstream in my wholesaling real estate operations, and this is obviously my own opinion on this. What you should do right now before doing this breakdown, I am spending a second doing this. I highly recommend you actually find the free trials to both so you can make an informed decision yourself. Not from what I say or somebody else says, you make your own decision. If you want to try them out for free, batch leads, the link for a free trial and 50% off your first month is zachdata.com. That is ZACHDATA.com. And the free link for 7 days free for Propstream is listrei.com. LASTREI.com. So let's get into softwares. The first category we have to talk about is cost. What's the cost of both these softwares? Well, I can get into a whole spiel about it, but the honest truth is they're both pretty much $99 a month. Now, batch leads does have a plan if you pay by the year. It's about $85, I believe. And you get 50% off that first month with the zachdata.com link. Now with Propstream, it's still that standard $99 a month. And with that, for both of the platforms, this is important, you get 10,000 record polls, which I know doesn't seem like a ton or a big amount, but honestly, that's all you need. If you need any more, you can always pay for more with these softwares for more data. But remember, 10,000 record is 120,000 in a year, and that's plenty for you to make 6 or 7 figures in wholesaling real estate. Now the next category here, which actually gets interesting, is skip tracing. Skip tracing is how we get information, the data's phone numbers, and of course you can use free skip tracing like cyber background checks and True People Search, but when you really want the best data possible, you're gonna have to pay for it from these providers. Now, both of these softwares do have great skip tracing processes and data, but what I can tell you, the slight edge here has to go to batch leads. When you can compare both of these skip tracing side by side, batch leads is going to give you better results. It's not a crazy amount though. It's not like there's double the best results with using batch versus Propstream. On average, if you pull a list and you can get about 2 deals from that list in a month, and you use Propstream Skiptracing in their data, and you use batch, you're still gonna pull the same 2. But over a course of a year, you might be able to pull an extra 1 out of batch. But again, at the end of the day, it's probably gonna be a wash after some of the other categories we're gonna talk about today. And so if you are really, really heavy on cold calling or SMS, and if you do a lot of high equity lists, you don't really have to re-skip trace a ton over the year. I would probably prefer to use batch leads for your skip tracing so you can have the best results here. Batch leads to skip tracing is 10 to 14 cents. On the regular plan, it's about 14 cents, so slightly more expensive than Propstream. Propstream is about 12 cents per record for theirs. But really, Propstream does not have terrible skip tracing. You can get people to say, oh, I'm using Propstream skip tracing, it's terrible. Honestly, between you and me, it's not that bad at all. And really, it is a tier up than any other software out there for skip tracing. I would put all the other ones at 3, and then number 2 is Propstream, then number 1 is batch leads. If you're looking in the SMS or cold calling game with Propstream, the skip tracing is good enough for you to be using. But I would give a slight edge here to batch leads. Now you have to remember with both these platforms, batch leads was built, founded, and operated by wholesalers. And so it's a wholesaling specific company, not a real estate investing specific company. So it is slightly smaller, but it is geared more towards wholesalers, while Propstream is more of a real estate investing software company. So most of their stuff is based off comps, data, and rehab. So batch leads really focused hard on skip tracing because that's who they started out as, batch skip tracing and batch lead stacker. And with Propstream, they're a lot bigger because they're more real estate investing specific. So they have a lot more money behind them to pour on other specialty features and data. Now, the next category here is comping. Which one's better for comping? I have found personally, batch leads is slightly better at comping because I can really customize more of the comps. And you know me, if I find a 3-2 and there's a 4-2 with the same square footage and I'm like, yeah, that's good enough, I can add that in there, discount it, or take stuff off of it. And so that's something I really like. It's a lot better user interface when it comes to comping with batch leads, aka zachdata.com. So I will tell you right now for comping, both of them are very on par with the actual comps themselves. But when it comes to just me running it in my own business, I do prefer batch leads. But again, these are very, very, very slight differences. Now, the next part here is data quality. And this is one that's probably the most important, but also the most controversial. I would say if I'm looking objectively at the data quality, both of them are really at a virtual tie. I would have to give a super, super, super tiny slight edge to Propstream here on the data quality. I don't know why, maybe it's a personal choice, but when I do direct mail, I tend to get better results using Propstream when I do a huge general list, like a high equity with the filters, than when I do it with batch leads. Now, this is nothing bad about batch leads, and I do get very, very similar results, but just slightly better contact rates and tiny more accurate data when it comes to direct mail with Propstream. Like a kid wearing his lucky underwear for a big football game, I always gonna use Propstream when it comes to a huge direct mail list pulling. But if I'm gonna do that into SMS or cold calling, I might pull it on Propstream and then skip trace with batch leads. But really, I don't think you're gonna get a big difference between these two. But when you're spending a lot of money on direct mail, the slight little difference is something I do look at. So that's why I kind of use Propstream when it comes to the bigger ones. Now, if I'm gonna cold call or SMS, I'm probably gonna pull some data from batch leads. But here's another reason why it's tied. You might think Propstream has this big edge here when it comes to quality, but you kind of flip the switch on it. Batch leads has something that Propstream does not have, which I think is a huge difference, but this is what we call demographics information. Batch leads has this. I can filter people by their age, religion, income, and all these other crazy demographic tools with batch leads that I just can't off of Propstream. So if I want to get really, really niched out on like a tired landlord list or people that are a little older owning property, you can do this. I was talking to somebody the other day and the last 15 deals they did were all people over the age of 50, which I'm gonna say if you wanna get really niched out on some lists, you can do it with batch leads. So this is why I say they're slightly the same, but I would give a slight edge here to Propstream, aka listride.com. Now, the next category here is something I call list variety. And I'll be honest with you here, the slight edge with this has to go with Propstream. Propstream has a better variety of lists, I could say, but not something crazy. I know this is a stupid little category, but this is something you probably should look at still. Lists like pre-probates and the zombie properties list is just something batch leads does not have the same quality with. Now you can go inside a batch and make your own custom filters, but the way that Propstream does this is slightly better. Remember zombie properties, which are vacant pre-foreclosures, which you can do inside of batch leads, and also the deceased owners list, which is really good for Propstream AKA listrei.com. On top of this too, when I'm trying to pull a list of cash buyers, so the cash sales, I'm always going to prefer Propstream over batch leads from this, not because batch leads has terrible cash buyer information, but I have found, I don't know why on some of my paper, when I cold call cash sales on Propstream, I tend to get the deal quicker, sold in front of more people than when I do with batch leads. Now let's flip this on the other end. If I'm trying to reach out to real estate agents, wholesale on market properties, or do anything that has to do with me going out here and reaching out to real estate agents, hands down 9 times out of 10, batch leads is going to just be way better for it because it's more wholesaling specific, not real estate agent specific. And there's a lot of great features that I love that batch leads does with their cash buyers and MLS wholesaling. And so I would say if you're looking for that, you should definitely go with batch leads. Now the next category here is MLS Access, and this is at a virtual tie right now. As of this video, Propstream and batch leads both have MLS Access. I will be transparent, Propstream did lose MLS Access about a year and a half ago. And then quickly after a couple months, they did a deal with the MLS to go get that data back. And so pretty much the data is very, very similar. Now, drawing for dollars features, this is a really cool new thing I'm excited to announce. But Propstream used to have the insane edge over this, which they had a free drawing for dollars app inside of Propstream whenever you signed up. But the reason why I love competition so much is batch leads saw they were slacking with this. And I also told the people this, that Propstream has a huge advantage over the drawing for dollars app because it's free. Batch leads had this paid service called Batch Driven, which was really awesome. It was way better than Propstream's free one, but they charged you for this information and they charged you for the app. Well, with new Batch Leads 3.0, when it came out, is they actually integrated that type of service inside of Batch Leads for free. So you get a free drawing for dollars app when you sign up in zachdata.com and use code Zach for 50% off. So right now, as of this video, Batch Leads is way better when it comes to its drawing for dollars capabilities than Propstream. Now remember, these are a league below Deal Machine, aka dmzac.com. But still, if you're trying to save some money, this is a great service for you. And you definitely can use it to get some good deals. Now, the next category here is customer service. I have found batch leads to have better customer service because they're more wholesaling driven and more wholesaling specific. They have some good customer support teams. And overall, they just invest a really good amount in their customer service. So I'll tell you, hands down, batch leads does have better customer service. But personally, I've never really had to use them for customer service issues, Propstream or batch leads, because the softwares are pretty self-explanatory and they work really well. Now, Propstream does have amazing customer service and just shows how highly I talk about batch leads as customer service whenever somebody who follows me has an issue. Now, the last category here is kind of a weird one, but it's called bonus features. And the edge on this specific tiny category has to go to Propstream. Propstream does have some really cool bonus features that I absolutely love that hint, hopefully batch leads can start implementing soon, which I know they probably will, hopefully, to really make this a tie. But the bonus features Propstream has currently right now, which is amazing, is a rehab calculator. They actually use Bluehammer, so they're more real estate investing specific so they can invest more into this. But this is a service that usually costs $5-10 a month, which you can calculate repair costs if you know what the property needs in your local city, county, or state. So it's called Bluehammer. It's really cool. I have tutorials in it in freewholesaling.com, but I absolutely love that little feature it has in Propstream, aka listrei.com. On top of that too, you can actually build your own wholesaling website for SEO with Propstream. Not a lot of people know this, but in freewholesaling.com, we break that all down. It's a really cool thing and one thing I really love. Now here's the end question. Which one should you use in wholesaling real estate for you to make money? Propstream or batch leads? Now, I have said this before and I'll say this again. You should go to zachdata.com right now, try out batch leads for free for 7 days. Go to listrei.com, try out Propstream for 7 days, and then you make your own decision on which one is better. At the end of the day, these softwares is like a Home Depot hammer or a Lowe's hammer. They're both hammers. They're both going to do the job. And who do you blame when somebody can't hammer the nail in? It's not the hammer that's the fault, it's you. So many people get batch leads, not do the work and complain those batch leads that was the problem. They'll go download Propstream, not do the work, and then blame Propstream as the problem. When the honest truth is, those are just tools. Those are just hammers. It's the user that makes the big difference between the two. So if you're looking at getting wholesaling real estate, I believe you should use both these softwares. I would say personally, if you are more into cold calling, batch leads is probably going to be more of a geared towards you because you can actually use zacdialer.com with it, their dialer. Or if you spend a ton of money on your Skiptracing and you want that 10-cent thing, so it's a little bit of a discount, batch might be the way to do it. But if you're someone trying to do wholesaling, you're balling on a budget and you're trying to make it a little cheaper and you want the good data, but you don't want to spend a ton of money on the dialer, the texting, or anything like that, and you're willing just to put the work in, Propstream might be the thing too. And also if you're trying to scale your direct mail, Propstream is definitely a must. So I would say both these softwares can help you so much. And personally, if you're looking to make 100K your first year wholesaling, both those softwares can definitely get you there. It's seriously the Toyota Camry or the Honda Accord. They're both pretty much the same thing and they're gonna get you from A to B. Yes, maybe they look slightly different, maybe they drive slightly different, but at the end of the day, they're gonna get you from one point to the other. You cannot be in this crazy analysis paralysis. Download both the free trials, zachdata.com and listrei.com. Get your butt out there and make a decision for here. Guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, go to freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, go to zachdata.com, go to listrei.com. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.